The wind howled through the crumbling ruins of Valenwood, a forsaken city whispered about only in nightmares. Centuries ago, it had been a thriving kingdom of light, but now the only inhabitants were shadows, their twisted forms prowling beneath a sky perpetually cloaked in swirling violet clouds. Arden was an outcast, a scavenger who made her living trading ancient relics from forbidden places. She had ventured into Valenwood not for riches but for answers. Her brother, Silas, had vanished a month ago, leaving behind a cryptic note. "The veil awaits me." The phrase echoed legends of a cursed artifact said to grant one's deepest desire, for a terrible price. With only a flickering lantern and a dagger etched with runes, Arden stepped into the city's labyrinthine streets. The air was thick with decay, and whispers slithered around her, spoken by mouths that did not exist. "Turn back!" the voice rasped, echoing from the darkness. "Show yourself," Arden demanded, though her voice wavered. She gripped the dagger tighter, its runes glowing faintly as if in response. From the shadows emerged a figure cloaked in tattered black robes. Its face was obscured, save for two glowing eyes like molten gold. "The veil does not welcome the living," it said. "I'm not leaving without my brother," she replied, stepping closer. The figure tilted its head. "The veil took him, as it takes all who seek it. You cannot save him." Ignoring the warning, Arden pressed on. The streets led her to the heart of Valenwood, a cathedral whose once majestic spires now jutted like jagged bones. Inside, the temperature plummeted. An eerie light emanated from the altar, where a shimmering curtain of darkness floated, the veil. Beyond it, Arden glimpsed fleeting images, Silas reaching out, his face etched with terror. She ran toward him, but the shadows around the veil lunged at her, clawing at her flesh and dragging her back. The dagger pulsed violently, pushing the shadows away. "Silas!" she screamed. His voice came faintly from beyond the veil. "Arden, don't! It's too late! No, I'm bringing you home!" She plunged the dagger into the ground, its runes igniting in a blinding cascade of light. The veil quivered, and for a moment she saw Silas's hand break through. She grabbed it, pulling with all her strength. The shadows screamed, their forms writhing as they dissolved into ash. Silas collapsed onto the cathedral floor, his face pale and eyes hollow. "You shouldn't have come," he whispered. "It's not over." The veil pulsed once, then twice, before exploding outward. From its depths emerged a monstrous being, a wraith clad in spectral armor, wielding a blade forged from darkness itself. "You dare disrupt the balance!" the wraith thundered. Its voice was a storm, shaking the very ground. Arden stood her ground, her dagger glowing fiercely. "If you want him, you'll have to go through me." The wraith charged, its blade slicing through the air. Arden dodged, the dagger's light shielding her from the creature's attacks. Silas, regaining some of his strength, chanted an incantation he had learned within the veil. Shadows and light clashed, filling the cathedral with an unearthly glow. Finally, Arden thrust the dagger into the wraith's core. The creature let out a deafening roar as its form disintegrated, the veil collapsing into itself with a final, echoing scream. The siblings stumbled out of the cathedral as the first rays of sunlight broke through the violet clouds. Valenwood began to crumble, its cursed existence undone. Silas turned to Arden, tears streaming down his face. "You saved me," he said. "But at what cost?" Arden glanced at her hand, where the dagger's runes had burned into her skin. A faint whisper echoed in her mind. "The veil is never truly gone.